Photonics, NASDAQ, LAS.
Troy has become a stock market analysis wizard of sorts. And he's had a tremendous track record with stock options, specifically leaps and even short-term options as well. And we haven't had one of these like actually breakdowns in a while. You've done it on tour a few times, but a lot of people, the vast majority of people were not at one of our tour stops.
Yeah.
So
what percentage, I mean to cut you off for Rashad, but what percentage did that cost them by not going to the show?
So that's the thing, man. And I'm happy that we're back in the forefront of things, to speak.
Hit the like button,
please, and share with 5 friends.
This is free information. This could potentially change your life. No cap.
Especially if you listen and not complain.
No cap. All facts.
So we got to preface this by saying Wednesday we're gonna have a full. You want to go there first?
Let's go through the presentation first, and then we'll say it later. Let me orchestrate the show.
No, because it's more of a preview type situation.
Let me produce the show, and
oh, you're on your Mike Bibby right now. Okay, I won't spoil it either.
Yes.
Oh man, so it's been a minute. I'll be honest with you. It's been a long while since we had an opportunity to sit back and really teach about trading and about options trading, to be specific. And so we're going to give you a little preview of how we're going to start moving forward, especially with EYL University, especially us at the forefront of it. Because it's important, right? Like, people can understand how to create a brokerage account. Some people have understood how to trade equities, and that's great. But most people, especially over the past 5 years, are trying to figure out how can we make money trading options, because that's where they see all the percentages. And we have to say, we have to preface it by saying trading has considerable risk. Yes. But trading options has even more so of a considerable risk. All right. And so we're going to preface it by some of the things that, we're going to be talking about over the next couple of weeks. So the first thing is, what are options contracts? And it's very important that you understand the difference between the two, right? An options contract is really not the obligation, right? But the right to, right? So you're not obligated to buy a share, but you have the right to. And so each contract is worth 100 shares. And so when people are talking about, I want contracts, that's really the equivalent of 100 shares. So if you see somebody with one contract, that's equal to 100. If you see somebody buying 2 contracts, they have the right to buy 200 shares. Now, that doesn't mean you have to, and we'll break down that even further when we talk about exercising. But I want people just to understand that. All right. First thing you got to realize is that it's really a predictable type situation, right? So when you're talking about options, you're talking about the predictability of a stock moving north, right, appreciating, or moving south, depreciating. And when we're talking about moving north, we're talking about a call, right? And so if I make a call, I'm making a prediction saying that the stock equity is going to move upwards or it's going to move downwards, which would be a put. And so most times you see people saying that they made this money, and if they had a call, so you see the word call in front of it, that means they said that the equity was going to move up a certain amount during a specific time. And a put would just mean the opposite, right? So if the equity moves down in that specific time, money is going to be made or lost. Now, there's a couple things inside of there that you have to figure out, and that's the strike price. So the strike price could be anywhere in the range of $10 to $100 of the actual equity, right? So if we take a company like Apple, and Ian, you spoke very well about it, it's trading at $175. Well, if I ask you, do you think in the next 2 years Apple can raise its price target to $180? Most people would probably say yes.
Oh yeah,
if you agree yes, put yes in chat.
That's a home run. Yeah, that's a home run.
That's a home run, right?
Yeah, even 205 is a home run.
Right, so that would be a call, right? And there's a premium that comes with that. So you're buying that number in the event that it goes up, you make money. Now, if you're a pessimist and you think that Apple won't do that in that time frame, right, then you would make a put. And if that number goes down, then there's also money that can be made. And there's a premium that's paid. So most people don't realize this is how it works, right? When I'd say $175 is what Apple, the actual equity costs, that's not what you're paying when you're buying an option contract. You're actually looking at the bid and the ask, right? And so when you think of bid and ask, I want you to think like when you're going to buy a car. The bid is what the dealer is going to tell you the car costs, right? The ask is what the dealer is going to tell you what the car costs. The bid is what you're willing to pay. And so
you negotiating the price.
it's a negotiation process. So these margins are where the brokerages make a lot of money. And most people have no idea how they make the money. But this is it, right? So if I wanted to buy the contract and it was $180 strike price and it cost me $2, they're going to say, all right, I'm going to charge you $275 for it. And so that margin is where they're going to make their money. Now, it's not $275. Actually, it's going to be moved. You're going to have to actually move a decimal point across. So it really becomes a $275 per contract situation. So you have to know the deal, which is a steal, right? Right. These are hypothetical numbers, right? So before we do anything, we need to know all the parameters of that, right? And on top of that, we're going to have to figure out how to find contracts that make sense, because some of them are overvalued, right? If you looked at NVIDIA contracts right now, you probably say to yourself, all right, these are too expensive for me. This is too expensive. I can't afford this. I can't. And they probably are, right? Because NVIDIA, as you see, has trended north for the past 6 months. It hit an all-time high today. It's trending toward $1,000, which is incredible. And so it becomes a higher premium based on the trend of the actual equity. So we're going to figure out how to use undervalued contracts. And there's a very unique system that we use to figure that out, so that we always have the win built in anytime we buy into contracts. And then the last piece of what I've been doing with trading options is I've been using AI. And it's probably been one of the same way that you hear Shadi talk about using AI in terms of media, and Ian using it in terms of media.
I didn't think it is, bro.
I'm using it in terms of trading. And so one of the things I found is like, look, there are plenty of experts that are analysts and they get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to do their job. I said, that's great. All I need to do is find out where they're reporting, take their report PDF, and have my good friends over at AI or ChatGPT or any of the ones that can actually decode PDFs and tell them to summarize it. I prompt them to exactly what I want. At some points, I'll say, hey, give me expedited target price for the next 6 months, and it'll do that. If I do that over 6, 7 experts, now I have a great consensus.
You have a great median strike. Yep.
I can figure out what they're thinking based on the research that I'm doing. And now that gives me a nice target to find out where I'm going to put my strike price, right? So all these things are what we're doing to evaluate how we're going to trade our options, right? Because it's a delicate process. It is a sensitive process, but it could be a very rewarding process. And when we do that, we get results. Now, I'm not one, and you know this, and y'all probably know this, I'm not one to gallivant and talk about results. But if we're going to show results, I figured this is family, this is Market Mondays, my earners at hand. Let's go through the scoreboard of some of these results, because not only are we talking about trading equities and trading options and telling you, hey, these are the things that we're looking at. Now we're actually implementing these things and winning.
Before you show them the results,
okay.
Great production member, Rashad. Go ahead.
Tell them, explain the AI play just like you did in Chicago.
All right. So
or should it be kept for university?
No. Trust me.
Okay.
All right.
This is valuable. I love y'all so much, man. I love y'all so much.
Here's how this is going to work. And I kind of just broke it down a little bit, but I'll give you that specifics. All right. So I look at a company like HubSpot. I look at its chart. I look at its trend. I'm looking for the support and resistance over the past year. I'm looking at support and resistance over the last 6 months. I'm starting to see trends. I see it in Salesforce. I see it in CrowdStrike. I'm starting to see that there was a rise during the pandemic. There was a great pullback. It's almost like a perfect mountain, and then we're starting to see it climb again. So, all right, let me start figuring out how we can take this advantage of this. And so I look inside of HubSpot, look at where all the experts are, figure out where the institutional money is going versus the retail money. And that's important because I want to know where institutional investors are putting their money, because that's where I want to put mine, right? So if I see 80% of the equities owned by institutions, BlackRock, Vanguard, a number of institutions, I'm all right, this is something that they're invested in, especially in tech. I need to be behind that. I take their expert opinions, I download the PDFs. Now, these PDFs are 15 to 20 pages. Now, if you have the time to read it, great, feel free. we got to maximize our time. And I think that's one of the best benefits of having AI is that you can actually maximize time. So download the PDF, put it in Anthropic, which is a great AI tool. Claude 2 is their version of ChatGPT. Prompt it. Hey, I need you to summarize this. Give me the strike, give me the price target, and give me the guidance.
Are you a business owner whose passion lies elsewhere? Let private trading networks replace your business income so you can focus on building your legacy.
Made about 47.5. That's net.
Where else are you making 25% a quarter?
On a scale from 1 to 10, I'm going to give ATN a number 10.
Those are just a few of my clients. Now, I know what you're thinking. Who is this guy? Just a few years ago, I was just another face stuck trading all my time for dollars at the expense of the people who matter the most to me, my family. Now, thanks to private trading networks, I'm completely debt-free. I've retired my beautiful wife, Brooke, so she can take care of our 2 amazing kids, and I'm able to cover the sky-high medical costs of my dad who's ill with Parkinson's disease. So who is this for? This is for you if you're a high-level 9-to-5er or entrepreneur, but still stuck in the time for money trap. You've tried the traditional passive income vehicles like real estate and stocks, but either they're just too slow at producing enough monthly cash flow for you to stop working, or you can make some monthly cash, but it feels more like a second job. Maybe you've also been burned by automation gurus who promised you great returns, saying they build you an Amazon store, Shopify store, Airbnb business, trucking company, or YouTube channel. But instead, they massively overpromised and underdelivered, leaving you out of pocket. Who is this not for? This is not for information gatherers, and this is not for the unsophisticated, and this is not for people with less than 30K in the bank. I'm selective about who I let join these networks. So click the link below to book a call and see if you qualify to be my next client.
Your future is at your fingertips. Take advantage of the flexibility and diversity of futures trading with NinjaTrader, the #1 rated futures broker. Start trading futures today.
The forward guidance for the next year. Put it in, hit return on it. Within 10 seconds, I've got an entire page layout of everything I just asked for. I'm like, all right, that's pretty cool. Let me go find another expert. Prompt the same thing. Now I'm creating my own database from those experts who actually spend hours, have more tools, have more resources, have a bigger network. And now I'm just compiling all the information that they have.
Option cheat sheet.
And now I'm just creating my own formula to figure this thing out. I'm like, well, this is how AI really should be used. Let's maximize our time. Let's become more efficient. And so I'm saying to myself, perfect. This is exactly what I'm going to do. And so we did this in Chicago. It was like really the first test. And before I even presented it, I spoke to Ian about it. I'm like, have you ever heard anything like this? And he was like, no, but I should have thought of it.
I wish I would have thought of it. I'm not going to lie.
And so I told him, I said, yo, I'm going to go for it tonight. I'm doing it with this company, HubSpot. Let's see how it goes. And from that moment, we did that show October 22nd in Chicago.
Yep.
HubSpot was trading at 410. And I think when I closed out the position, I actually put it in the slide in one of my results. I think it closed out at 590. So we're talking, I mean, and that's just percentage on the equity. So the actual option, I think I closed out at maybe 300, 400%, something crazy like that. But that was just using technology, using the research, using knowledge that I already had, right? Because we always talk about AI can make you, it's not going to make you smarter, but it can enhance intelligence. And this is one of those things, like I already had the actual knowledge base to do trading, but now I'm like even more enhanced because now I'm even more efficient because the information plus network is much more vast.
Okay.
How was that?
That was good. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
All right, let's show this results. And
let's do some results, man. Mike, where you at? You got me, Mike? You know,
we're not just talking about it.
Yeah. I mean, we're not just talking about it. So when we talk about Microsoft, when we're talking about all the things that they're doing with AI, I mean, these are calls that we're putting in. And so when we talk about leaps, that means we're going from a year to 2 years out. And so this call, I probably put in maybe June of last year. But you can start to see some of those returns. So 276. Now, most people are going to say, well, how much money did you make? And my thing is like, I'm never one to tell you about the money because the money is great, right? And of course we're going to make money and that's what we're doing this for. But the percentages are more important to me because we all start at zero. When I don't have a call, when I don't have a contract, we all start at zero, right? We may not start at the same amount that we're investing, and that's fine. I don't want to discourage anybody. You should use what you have to invest, right? I don't want you putting the entire life savings into trying to trade options. No. I want you.
You should never put more than 10%
Please.
of your portfolio on options.
Absolutely.
That's my personal rule.
Right.
90% long term, 10% option.
And it's extremely important. So the percentages are so much more important to me because, again, everybody starts at 0%, and what you do and when you do it is important, will determine how your account's going to look anyway. So this is one of our first ones. Microsoft, we're into 2025. Where's Microsoft trading at? Ian, you got your thing? You got your... Yeah,
yep.
So
Microsoft is at 414.
So we're way past the strike price. This call is probably going to go up. I mean, at the rate that the market is moving by next year, I could see it going up to
458.
Yeah, Mike, keep going. Actually, I got it, Mike. I got it. Oh, you skipped mine. Right, we talked about Lilly all the time.
Lilly.
Yeah, we're going to go into this a little bit more. Another one. Looked at the research, saw the earnings was coming, and I'll show you a site that we're using to figure out how the earnings are being projected. Another one, saw Lilly was trading a little bit under 675, so I took a little bit of it again. Well, this was a pricier call, but look at the returns, and this is something that we've done within the last month. Let's just keep rolling. I'm gonna keep rolling.
Yeah, let's try.
Let's go. So SMH, we talk about semis all the time, right? We love semis. Why are we not investing in ETFs? Why are we not investing in ETFs, option calls? Here's a perfect example, 100%. Now, most people are saying, oh my gosh, well, it's only 100%. Yeah, but where else are you getting 100% in less than 4 months, less than 2 months? All right. So let's keep rolling. We told you about Cloudflare. Spelled it out for you.
You did.
We did another one. And this is more of a short-term option call. Now, at the end of the year, when we asked what were our companies for the year, specifically said TSM is the one I'm looking at. It's one of my favorites because I know the infrastructure and how much is needed and when we're talking about technology, right? If we're talking about semis and we're talking about NVIDIA, who was the number one provider for TSM? All companies run through them. They make 70% of the world's semi chips. Of course, I have to have a call on them, but I want you to make a quick distinction, right? Because not only do we have calls in them, we own the stock. You see, like that NVIDIA, there's no call there. Yep. There's no call. There's no expiration date. That is the stock. So I own the stocks of these companies. And so what is the strategy? I own the stock and then I own the options on the stock.
Trade the same
and we've been telling you for 5 years, I want you to get 100. I want you to get 100. Why? Because when you get 100, now you can actually sell calls. And so 100 has always been the number. And so this NVIDIA, my stocks, probably I think in this brokerage account here, I think I got 400 shares. Those 400 shares are up 300%. 300%. The shares. All right. And that came from this call. Why? NVIDIA hit 175 at the time. And Ian, you were on the call with me. This was January of 2020.
Of last year, right?
Of last year.
Yep.
I told people that I'm getting into this call. This is the next call that I am doing. This is the next one, y'all. And there was some positive feedback, and then there was some feedback that wasn't so positive.
It cost too much. What did it cost you not being it now? For everyone else, you see how we're able to get 2,300, 3,000% return in a year?
This is, and that's why I said percentage is so important. That's not $1,200, ladies and gentlemen. That is 1,200%. So that's why I said it doesn't matter where I started at because we're not going to be starting at the same positions. That's fine. But if you put $100 in, if you put $1,000 in, that's 1,200% on that call, right? So these are the things we're talking about. All right. So owning the stock and owning options on it as well. But once I saw this, I said, wait, I can't just stop at the 205 call. We got to get more calls.
So I could stop, but it wouldn't be wise.
It wouldn't be wise. So why stop? Let's partake in all of it. Let's go to the 25 call for 455. Well, NVIDIA is running up to 825. So that call is going to keep running, right? When the June one expires, this one will keep running. But why stop there? Let's keep going. right? And so now I'm in the 26 call for 800. That's already up 74%. So you can start to see we're compounding and we're compounding and we're compounding. Why? Because I see the trend. I'm watching it. I'm watching my shares goes up. I know I can say. These are all the things that you're putting in inside of your mind frame when you're starting to see these wins. It's important to see them. But it's just not NVIDIA. I still got some of these other ones that I can't let go, that I just believe in the company. And so, yeah, I am in DraftKings. And these are some of the more recent ones that I've probably done. Obviously, you know, DraftKings is something that we talked about probably since the inception of the show.
Yes, at the beginning of the show.
It's still Prince for me. It's still Prince for me. And then this is one we spoke about last week that I just did maybe. I might have did this on Tuesday, right before your party, I think. Salesforce, man. Salesforce, right? If I saw what was happening in HubSpot inside of the CRM space, we understand they have great leadership. We saw them have a great pullback. They've obviously let people go. We talked about the acquisitions of Slack and how that affected the company. I like Salesforce going long term. And so I'm like, all right, well, perfect. This is an opportunity to grab them and have a call on it. And so why not? All right. So the real question is, and I think you posed it already, what would it cost you to not be involved?
To not do it.
So,
and then we can talk about triangle offense. Rashad calls QQQ. I'll tell you to trade NASDAQ future. What would you be up long on QQQ calls? Easy 50%. Like if you.
Oh, they deaded them.
It took in out. So yeah.
Blackout.
So that was an options situation, but this isn't an option program. We just wanted to do it. But the announcement is that, so EYL University, like I said, we're back hands-on. I've been teaching a financial planning class every single month, but Troy will start teaching a monthly options masterclass for EYL University every month. Every month he's been at it. You know, he used to be a teacher, so he's coming back into the classroom and he's teaching. And the first class is this Wednesday at 8:00.
Yes.
And it's 48 hours, only 48 hours enrollment. So if you want the full hour of him,
we're going to log in it out.
EYLUniversity.com. It's a 48-hour enrollment, and then we just go and dead it for the rest of the month. We want less people in this time around. We got some different ideas. We've learned some things. And the biggest thing is to be more hands-on. So, yeah, every month, Troy's going to be doing his options masterclass. So we wanted to kind of give you a taste of that. And, yeah, if you want the whole version,
sure.
EYL University.
We're getting busy. I'm being honest with you. We're going to get busy. It's been a while. And I started looking back in the files. I'm like, damn, it has been a while. So it's going to be a while. It's been a while. Everything that I just told y'all, I'm actually going to show y'all in real time. I'm going to have y'all involved in it. Plus, I'm going to tell y'all what we're looking forward to next.
TastyFX gets you trading faster with instant funding solutions that let you trade immediately, proprietary one-click trading, and fast trade execution under 20 microseconds. Take your trading up a notch. Join TastyFX today.
When the sawdust settles and the engine finally roars, the thing you care about most is a job well done. But when you get your tools from Harbor Freight, something about the job feels a little different. Your wallet. Because we believe no matter what you're working on, you need high-quality tools at a great price. And that's what we're all about. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Hey guys, in this video, we're going to be talking about selling put options for income. So let's jump into my portfolio. But before I jump into my portfolio, I just want to say that selling put options is literally the most consistent strategy that I've ever come across. I've literally read a book. I've been on Wall Street. And every single resource that I've come across, selling puts is the most consistent income strategy because you're buying stocks for cheaper than they're trading at today. So let me explain. If a stock is at $100 or $110, you can sell a put option below the current stock price, and then you're getting to buy the stock potentially for lower than it's trading at right now. So today, I'm going to be talking about selling put options, even if you have a small account. I specifically want to show you how to sell put options on SPY. SPY is a position that I have in my portfolio. In fact, I have a very large position on SPY. If I click into SPY right now, I'm going to show you that I have over $1,100,000 in SPY right now. And the reason why I like SPY so much is because the options are amazing. Now, in this video, what I want to show you is even if you have a small account, let's say it's just a couple $1,000s, you could still sell put options on SPY. I'm going to show you a loophole. With this loophole, you can basically sell puts on SPY without needing to have all the collateral or capital to actually dump into SPY. So let me just show you an example. So if I go to trade SPY options, I'm going to show you this loophole. So essentially, the thing that I mentioned that I like about SPY is the liquid options. Now, you may be like, what are liquid options? So let me back up for a second. Let me tell you what liquid options are. Let me tell you what expiration points I like for SPY. And then also, I need you to understand how to close this position. It's really important because so many people enter into positions and they don't end up closing the position properly. That's probably the number one mistake that so many beginner option traders are doing. They're either entering positions with no plan to exit, or they're just exiting with, not enough profits. So that's what I'm going to change for you in this video. So make sure that you do stick to the very end. But if you look at the options right here, so let's go to sell put options. So I like selling put options a lot because they bring in premium, and also because I'm kind of bullish on SPY, especially because the market has been crashing. I want to sell puts. I want to be out there making money on fear. And there is a lot of fear in the market right now. And the higher the fear goes, well, the more expensive these premiums become. So the better selling put options becomes. Selling put options is a very basic strategy where you're just selling one put and you're collecting money for selling the option. The worst thing that can happen is the stock can fall down, and then essentially you're forced to buy 100 shares. But again, that's not so bad if you're bullish on the stock. And the second thing is if you sell an out-of-the-money option, you really make your chances small for the stock to fall down to that strike price. And again, SPY is an expensive stock. It's $374. So let me show you an example. Let's say that the expiration date for October 7th, which would be tomorrow, we're going to sell a put option for, let's go to chance of profit. I like to look at my chance of profit, and 88%. So this is good. If I expand this option right now, the delta is 0.12. So a very small delta. This 0.12 delta means there's only a 12% chance of this option expiring in the money. So let's go ahead and sell the 367 put option on SPY, and you're going to see the first problem that I come into and the problem that I'm going to solve for you in this video. So if I sell this, it's going to be $59. Now, that is cool. $59 is great. However, the problem is that I would need to have 100 shares of this stock. And that means that I would need to have $36,641 at my disposal. And this is a lot of money. Obviously, most people don't just have 36 grand sitting in their portfolio. But don't worry, because I'm going to be solving this problem. And also, just so you know, you don't need a lot of money to grow a small portfolio. It's not like I started with a lot of money. I started with just $2,000. And it did take me a lot of time to grow, but that's why I'm here on YouTube. I'm here to share my knowledge to make sure that you can do a similar path to me, but hopefully a little bit shorter and a little bit less painful. So how do I solve this problem of needing $36,641 when selling a put option? All right, so we're going to do this example on October 7th. And let me just expand this option, expiration dates, just to take a look. I want to see if there's any better expiration dates. Now, what I do want to point out for you is that SPY actually has expiration days on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So actually, this is Friday, this is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. This is really unusual. And it's actually why SPY is so popular. It's such a big ETF that so many people have in their portfolio. And the options are just purely a dream. They are so nice because of multiple factors. Not only do they expire 3 times a week, so you can basically sell options or buy options on a very short amount of time. You can do it for the next day, or you can do same day options, which, by the way, I also want to show you in this video. But the options are so abundant and they're expiring very often. Now, one thing that you will notice when I expand this option is, aside from the delta, which, okay, that's cool, is the volume, okay? The volume is massive, 21,000 volume for SPY. That's what I mean when I said liquid in the beginning of the video. Liquid means that there's a lot going on. Imagine this. Imagine if you're trying to sell a car and you have a Rolls Royce or a Lamborghini Huracan 2010, okay? It is not as easy to sell a luxury vehicle than it is to just sell a simple Toyota Corolla. There's a lot of people in the market for Toyota Corollas, and a lot of people have 8 to 10 grand to spend on a used Toyota Corolla. So you can easily sell a used Toyota Corolla in probably like a couple days, especially if you set the right price. If you're just $500 below the market, someone's going to call you up and say, I want that Toyota Corolla. But for a Lamborghini Huracan, it might take 3 weeks, 3 months. It's really difficult to find a buyer. And even if you lower the price by $5,000, it's still a luxury niche vehicle. And not everyone's going to be able to afford it, obviously. Only a few select people, maybe like the 1%ers, can afford that type of car. So you're going to have a hard time selling it, even if it is for a discount. That's basically the same thing with options. For SPY, it's like a Toyota Corolla. There's always like a buyer. There's always a seller. There's always so many people looking to buy and sell this stock. And the options are just really liquid because everyone's also looking at the options and they're also trying to buy and sell the options. So that's why the bid in the ask spread, if you see right here, is 0.59 and then the ask is 0.61. That's amazing because it's so tight. As a beginner, you really need tight bid-ask spreads. It's going to help you lose less money, which basically means that you're going to make more money in the long term while trading options. Now, I can show you this option that expires on Friday. However, when this video comes out, I want you to have some time to actually potentially make this trade. So instead, I'm going to go out until Wednesday. Super cool and unique because I've never showed a Wednesday option on this YouTube channel. But let's go out until Wednesday. So basically that gives us a few trading days and gives us the weekend as well. So I'm going to go down to a reasonable strike price. And for me, that's going to be analyzing the option chain. So again, I want to look for an option around an 88 chance of profit because that 88 chance of profit also means that the delta is around 0.12. And that's because the chance of profit is inverse to the delta, meaning that a 10 delta means 90% chance of profit. A 5 delta means a 95 chance of profit. So I already know that, and I know how Robinhood platform works. And I also know that I like a sweet spot of around 10 to 14 delta. So 12 delta is fine, and the volume here is 2,400, so not as much. Let's go up a little bit, 3,812 volume, that's really good. Let's go up one more, and it's also 2,000 volume, 15 delta, that's a little aggressive. So I like the 362. The volume is pretty good, the delta is pretty good, and the bid-ask spread is amazing. It's exactly $1. So let's go ahead and sell this option right now. I'm going to sell this for $1. It says 99 cents, but it's going to be $1 because the midpoint of 99 and $1.01 is going to be $1. So yeah, the midpoint is $1. So I'm going to sell this for $1. And again, we have a problem of 36 grand. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to get rid of this max loss. And the way that I'm going to do it is I'm going to buy a put option that is way below. So I'm going to tell you the risks about this trade as well. But first of all, let's go buy a put option. Okay, so we're currently at 362. Now, obviously, I can just buy the 361. However, this only gives us a total credit of $10. That is not that unique. This is basically a put credit spread. But that's only $10. That's not that good compared to the $99 or the $100 that we wanted to collect originally. So instead of going down one leg, I'm going to go down a bit further. So I can actually go all the way down to 352. Now, going down to 352, you can see here that the delta is 0.04, the volume is 2,800, and the bid and ask is still very, very tight. In fact, it's even tighter. It's only $1 apart. So that is great. Now, if we will notice, things become really interesting. So basically, I can sell the 362 put. Robinhood is fine with that, and every broker is fine with that. However, if you don't have the collateral, you won't be able to actually fill this trade. But now that I am buying the 352, I'm basically creating a floor for myself. If the stock were to drop, it cannot drop below 352. Well, if it does, it's not a problem because now my buy put is going to protect my 362 sell put. Now I can pay $31. That's not that much money compared to $100. I can take home a total credit of $69. So it says right here my max profit is roughly $70, but my max loss is $930. That is true. You can lose up to $930 and you're making $70. However, this is basically the same thing as selling a put option what's going on, guys? As you can see on the screen right now, I have a $2.7 million portfolio and a $2.5 million portfolio. So in this video, we're going to be talking about my $5 million portfolio, what I hold, my philosophy, and how I view option trading and building wealth. So I hope that you have some time, buckle up, get prepared to take some notes, and enjoy some of the analogies, the stories I have, and learn from a multimillionaire who wants to truly help you. I actually think for me, I just hit the mark where I am something called Fat Fire. Okay, so there's a community on Reddit, and it's called, retire early, FIRE, right? Financially independent, retire early. Okay. So I hit like a lean FIRE. I don't look at these Reddit articles anymore. I used to dream about this. And I'm sure if you're watching this video, you want to become financially free. So that's what I hope to help you achieve and give you some value in this video. But I also want to talk about kind of like the journey that I had to financial freedom. And maybe you can compare your journey. Not that you have to compare it to me. It's not a contest. We're all in our own individual journey. I'm very competitive, but not so much about money. I'm more competitive with sports. But I want you to have just a frame or a reference, right? To understand how long it took me, how long it might take you, different positions in my portfolio. So I'm going to give you a very broad perspective, okay? So when it comes to FIRE or financially independent retire early, my goal was to have I wanted to have maybe like $5,000 a month in income. And that was like my lean FIRE. That was like FIRE, like I can just travel in the US and maybe go to a cheap place. This was a while ago, by the way, so I think that number would probably have to be a little bit more. I was a single guy, right, in my early 20s back then, and now as I hit 30 and as I want to have a family and everything like that, if I was in the United States, I would probably need $15,000 or $20,000 per month. But long story short, at $5 million right now, I think I'm at Fat Fire. So I'm actually, this is really weird, but I have people contacting me for opportunities and they try to help me make more money. But I truly don't want any more money at this point, because at $5 million, if you do 2% per month in return, that is $100,000. And I still pay my US taxes. So I think, let's say, pay 40% tax. Probably I'm not at 40, but probably in the high 30s. So let's just say 40%. That leaves me with $600,000 per year, which is $50,000 per month. I was talking to one of my buddies because I actually manage several other YouTubers. I like to consult YouTubers on the side, in addition to being a coach and being a trader. So basically I have 3 sources of income, let's say. I'm going pretty broad with all this. I hope that you're enjoying me being very candid and transparent with you about net worth and everything like that. So I was helping another YouTuber, and he has similar net worth. And he actually is really big channel, really big channel. He has 500,000 or even more than that subscribers. And he's also teaching finance stuff, right? So I was talking to him and I helped him with everything. But he was just basically telling me that there is no way for him to spend that amount of money. For him to spend $50,000 a month. And I realized that he's right. Even if you have a family and everything, that's enough money. So long story short, I think there's different points where you have to hit in your life. There's like a lean FIRE where you know that you are in a good position where you could leave your job and kind of live bare minimum, which is a good feeling, because then you stop being so dependent on your employer, and you start feeling a bit more confident that if you lost your job, you wouldn't be in an absolutely effed up situation. So you can start feeling like a little bit lower stress when it comes to finances. And I think that there's a medium point, right? For me, that medium point was when I hit $1 million. When I became a millionaire, which was actually a while ago, I can't believe it. I'm getting old here. I think I hit that at 25. So it was like years ago. I felt like I had, by the way, I know how to trade for higher income. You guys know that. I cover all these strategies on my channel. You know that we can make 4% a month. We can make 5% a month. You just have to take higher risk. So I knew at the time that with $1 million, I could aim for 4% a month. I would be a little bit more stressed out and have to manage positions and go a little bit riskier. But at $1 million, I'm like, I could probably make 30, 40 grand a month. All right. So I, at that time, moved to Colombia, and I was like, okay, I have a good amount of money where I can essentially live a good life. A good life. I'm having fun making this video, by the way, because I'm going a little bit different into storytelling, which is fun for me because I want you to understand the story a bit. All right. So when I was in Colombia, I was like, that's a lot of money. I'm kind of scared out here because I make a lot for living in this country. And not that it's third world. I think it's more like second world. I'm not even sure, but it's definitely not as safe as, well, I don't know. US is also going down in crime or increasing in crime. So anyways, that was kind of like a medium fire, right? Again, I don't read the Reddit stuff, but I think there's lean fire, there's medium fire or something, and then there's like fat fire, right? So for me, the medium amount was $1 million and the fat is like 5 mil. So right now, just making videos to help you guys and educate you. I really don't even feel like getting richer. I'm thinking how to spend money in a smart way, because getting richer is it's not what life is about. So let's just go over my portfolios. And I have a $2.5 million portfolio and a 2.7. I do have a Roth IRA, and this Roth IRA has $83,000. And just so you guys know, I'm in this Roth IRA. I only put, I think one year I put $5,000, and the other year I put $4,000 or $5,000. So I've literally 8x'd this portfolio. No BS, because I don't qualify to even put money into a Roth IRA. You guys know I don't really BS on this channel anyways. I just show you everything. I don't really need the money. I just transparently tell you all the truth, the good and the bad, and I lose money sometimes. And you guys know everything, the good and the bad. I couldn't even BS if I wanted to on the Roth IRA, because I literally can't contribute to a Roth IRA because my income is too high. The only reason I opened up a Roth IRA, and this is something really, really interesting, I'm going to drop you some value right now. If you have kids, this will greatly benefit you. When I made $5,000 or $6,000 one summer, there is something called a standard deduction, and the standard deduction is that you can basically not pay tax on the first $12,950. It increases every year because of inflation. But if you make $5K, you don't pay tax because it is below your standard deduction. And a Roth IRA is after-tax money. So if I make $5,000, I don't pay taxes on that $5,000 because it doesn't meet the standard deduction. If I put that after-tax money, which is not taxed because it's below the standard deduction, and I put it into a Roth IRA, then I don't pay tax on that money to get in, and I never pay tax to get out. So that was like my idea. It was a genius idea. Good thing I studied finance and I came up with this a long time ago. But I didn't expect to get so rich so fast. So I didn't expect to get this rich. So I thought every penny counted, every dollar counted. I came from nothing. So I truly didn't have much. So for me, every dollar was like, I was counting every dollar. The Roth IRA here, it went from like 10 grand to like 83 grand, which was really cool. And I did that through option trading. But I did it actually through safe option trading, because you can't do all the option trades in a Roth and in a 401k and stuff like that. So literally really amazing results that I'm super proud of. And if you have kids, which you should do, and this is not tax advice, I'm not a tax advisor, I'm not a financial advisor either, I'm just a multimillionaire who has lots of experience, who's trying to help you out in life and be a good person. So what I would do if I were you, if you have a kid, is pay your kid a reasonable salary to help you with something. If you have a business, if you don't, I don't know how to do it. It gets a little bit harder, but say you have a business. You can pay your kid to do something in your business, like help you hold something or organize your books or whatever, right? Give your kid $5,000, and then your child, your son or daughter, puts that $5,000 into a Roth IRA. So now you're saving for their retirement, and you're reducing your taxes by giving them $5K. You're shifting your taxes. It's called income shifting. You're a higher earner to a no earner at all. So you're shifting income. So you're giving them $5,000, and then they put into a Roth IRA. So anyways, just contact a professional, but that's like some interesting stuff right there. So anyways, let's go into my individual account of $2.6 million. All right, we're going to take a look. So this is Charles Schwab. I was part of TD Ameritrade. Guys, I don't care about brokers at all. I like Robinhood because they're simple. I'm not paid by Robinhood. I wish. Not that I need the money, but they don't pay me. I don't even have an affiliate. I don't do affiliates, guys. I don't do affiliates on this channel. I don't take sponsorships because I don't need it. I don't need the money. I'm just doing this to have a good time and contribute to the world, because I don't know what else I would do with myself if I didn't have this. So I just generally want to help you. So anyways, I have Charles Schwab, and I don't even like the interface that much. It's a little bit confusing, but let's just go over all my positions right now. Apple stock, love it. I love Apple. I actually used to be like a Samsung guy. Here we go. Let's get a little flex in on the biceps and a little flex in on the Apple, okay? And yeah, I started taking 200 milligrams of testosterone. I'm just joking. I'm actually natural. Yeah, I've just been working really hard. Taking it seriously. So Apple, look at me not being so humble on this channel, guys. Look at me. What's wrong with me? I'm supposed to be more humble. All right. cracking myself up today. Self-amusement is pretty important. All right, so we have Apple stock, and so it's my favorite stock because it has the best brand. Okay, brand. Even just brand is the most important things. I literally see stupid YouTubers who have no financial background, but they got tons of views because they know how to build a brand. The favorite YouTubers that you're watching, I'm not going to mention the names. You're subscribed to them. They literally have no experience with investing. They're just very talented at speaking, using teleprompters, or just talented at speaking. There's nothing wrong with using teleprompters. They don't honestly know all the time what they're talking about. And not to talk trash, I'm just saying brand. Building a big brand is what makes money, okay? Building a brand is the most important thing when it comes to investing. It's the most important thing when it comes to business. It's the most important thing on YouTube. Creators make money even if they don't know what they're talking about, as long as the audience thinks that they know what they're talking about. Kind of sad and drives me crazy. I wish we can just lay out results and just go off of results. Who built the biggest portfolio, who has experience. But yeah, it doesn't matter. What I'm trying to say though is Apple is my top pick. I can invest all my money into Apple because of brand. And I also help other brands. That's why I'm so crazy, so passionate and fired up right now, because what I actually do most of the day is I actually think about my brand, what I can do as a content creator providing value on the internet, as well as helping other brands. Because I started enjoying that a lot more since I got into the retirement zone. I have a lot of free time. So I enjoy either hitting the gym or helping business owners, because I think by helping business owners, I can positively contribute to the most amount of people in this world. Imagine if I started helping Tony Robbins, I would indirectly touch so many people in the world. So if I can, that's basically my kind of personal goals and mission nowadays. But Apple, brand. Adobe, brand. Amazon, brand. Alphabet, brand. JP Morgan. I already made $6,800 on this, so this option is going to expire out of the money. Meta, brand. And Meta also goes along with my big bullish case scenario on social media in general. I think people are on social media way too much. If I can go back in the day and it was so much more simple. Before there was Instagram, before there was Meta and Facebook, I miss old days. Even though I'm not that old, I kind of wish that I was born in like 1950 or 1960, because things were just a lot more simple. You go to the bar, you meet people in person, you do manly things, masculinity and just in-person stuff. And now everyone's sitting on the internet on their computers and social media. Testosterone is falling a lot. My testosterone is pretty low, by the way, although I'm doing decent on the muscle department. I got my testosterone checked. I'm 412, which is not that high. And also there's total testosterone, free testosterone, stuff like that. But kind of miss the old days. And unfortunately, I have a big bet on social media. It's only going to continue. I think obesity rates are going to continue. I think social media trends are going to continue. So I might as well profit from it. So we got Meta. Oh gosh, it's kind of cold in my studio right here. Yeah, I mean, I think social media is just going to continue, and it's going to keep growing. So yeah, by the way, if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's Invest W Henry. There's several accounts that are pretending to be me. Please don't get scammed. Guys, I don't need the money. I'm not going to ask you for Bitcoin. So please follow my Instagram. If you want my personal life and everything, that'd be cool. And but please don't fall for any scams or anyone trying to message you. I'm not going to message you first. I don't message people first, unless I think you're my future wife. Then maybe I'll message you first. But that's you guys are more male audience here, because investing topics are more for men in U.S. We have women as well, and I love educating women. I love it, but just the facts is, I think the channel is 96% male, or 95. All right. So anyways, Meta is going to keep growing. And Instagram in the description if you want to follow it. Tesla. All right. Elon Musk was like, I think that's what is this cyborgs blanking on what he was saying, but it's going to be like a 25 trillion opportunity. He was saying the cyber robots, right? I'm like, I don't know about that. But even if it's 1 trillion, that's gonna benefit, because I think Tesla in general is just a good stock. As you can see, I'm very just tech focused on this portfolio. This portfolio is so simple, a dog can copy it. So simple, anyone can copy it. Because look, it's just Apple, Adobe, Amazon, Google, JP Morgan, which honestly doesn't even count because it just put options. We got Meta, we got Microsoft, we got Tesla. And then I do have QQQ. I have 1.9 million in QQQ. I just want to have a big bet. So this portfolio is very stable. It's very boring. I don't usually pull it up And to be honest, I implement margin trading in this portfolio. It's not even something I cover in my Discord community because, I'm trying to make money. Yeah, well, I do have a big team that has to be paid, so I do try to make money, but I do it because I like it. The $1.9 million in QQQ, I just keep it simple. This portfolio, I use margin. I don't teach margin in Discord, not because I want to make money, but because I think it's just too complex of a strategy. And I think you can get into a lot of hot water. Like you can get into so much hot water if you try to do margin. So don't use margin unless you have extensive experience trading options. Extensive. I have a covered call, which is not going that well right now at all. So I will have to roll this position up higher. We're in a bull market, so I have to keep rolling positions higher because, well, when there's a bull market, covered calls are going to underperform the market. So option trading is good on a long-term basis, but on a short-term basis, if the stock market is just up a lot, then covered calls are going to underperform. So I am underperforming on covered calls, being honest with you, all right? So I'm underperforming, and I'm going to have to roll this higher. Although I'm still making money, just making a little bit less money than I could have because this position is going against me. But I will roll it up, and I'm very confident that I will be able to easily roll it up to like 480 and out to September. And I will probably do that in the next couple of weeks. Then we have SPY sell puts. That's also going very well. So that is this portfolio. This portfolio, I use margin and I'm a bit more risky with it. And to be honest, I've grown it super aggressively. So I've had it at like 1.8 million. Now it's at 2.6. So that is like 40% or more this year on this portfolio. It's a good year and I am being pretty aggressive as I feel like I am able to take the risk and handle the volatility. Not always pleasant to handle volatility, but that's that. And then the Robinhood portfolio, as you guys know, you guys watch the videos. If you're not subscribed, you got to subscribe. I would love to have 1 million subscribers. I don't think that's going to happen ever because that's a lot. But yeah, if you subscribe, I'd be very happy and appreciative. If you're ever in my city, I'm always happy to grab coffee. I pretty much always do that. So if you ever want to message me on Instagram, I do respond to all the messages because I have time and I like my audience a lot. Love you guys. So yeah, this portfolio, I have Apple, Meta, NVIDIA, and NVIDIA is going to be really, really, really interesting because I thought I was in big trouble with this position, but it turns out that NVIDIA is under 130. So these call credit spreads are going to go well. These calls are going to go very well. And it's in the last day. I waited until the very last day, which is pretty insane. It just shows you that patience is super, super important, okay? Have patience. Patience is very, very important. All right, we're going to look at some other stocks that I hold. I did get assigned Asana today. Here's my stock positions. So I got Apple, got Amazon, I got American Airlines, got Palantir, got Target, Walmart, PayPal, Shopify, QQQ, and Asana. I like Target and Walmart a lot. I've had it for some time here, and those positions I think are very stable. I like the retail sector because we were talking about trend.
Are you trading S&P or NASDAQ ETFs? Discover futures from CME Group on the equity indices you know and love with around-the-clock liquidity and lower margin requirements. Enjoy the benefits unique to futures. Start trading today.
Aspen Dental offers a full suite of denture products to get you exactly what you want, all while fitting your budget.
Trends, right? We were talking about social media as a trend. Well, now let me talk about economics as a trend. All right, I have a economics, finance, business analytics degree. Let me see if I'm missing something. Finance, economics, business analytics. Yep, that's my degrees. Data analytics, business analytics, data science, whatever. It's kind of all similar. Let me talk about economics. The rich are getting richer. The poor are getting poorer. All right, so that means that Target and Walmart are going to do better. Target and Walmart are also going for more online sales, which increases their margin, making them a very good long-term bet. Okay. Now, unfortunately, crime is also going up, and I heard that in US, like if you steal something for a certain dollar amount, I think it's less than $100 or something, the cops don't even come after you. They don't even come after you. They're like, whatever. We see this every day. Okay. And it's kind of sad what's happening across the whole world, right? I don't know why. Why is this happening right now? When it comes to Target and Walmart, I am just bullish because I think margin expansion is going to really increase the business. Also, the poor are getting poorer, so they're going to have to do some more bargain shopping. And just the fact of it. And it's been the case throughout all of history. The rich, they get richer because they have access to capital, education, healthcare, and other various indicators. And technology is a big one as well. That helps them just keep getting wealth. And the wealthier you are, obviously investing that money gets you even wealthier. So, and I think the poor are having a harder time. So that's why I am bullish on Target and Walmart. And I think the economic situation is not going to improve. So you better be investing or starting businesses. If you like starting a business, I am quite good at business. I help other business owners. So shoot me a message on Instagram. I'm quite talented in many things. I just don't cover on this channel because it would be off topic, but I'll drop you the Instagram in the description. So feel free to reach out anytime, coffee or whatever you want. PayPal is also a position of mine. I like PayPal because of the price earnings ratio. I am down in the stock 8%, but it's not really a big deal. I personally pay my employees, or I don't have employees, I have contractors. I don't really believe in having employees because then you have to give them the healthcare and all that. So I just have contractors that I pay very, very fairly, and they've been with me for a long time. But I use PayPal to pay the people that I work with. Anyways, I think PayPal is a really good company, and specifically, I'm probably the most bullish on PayPal right now. So if you want to get into PayPal, then I would definitely do that because you're getting a better price than what I got. Another stock that you would get a better price than me would be American Airlines. So I think airlines are a very safe pick because specifically with airlines, you can't go bust. People have to fly. Because people have to fly, the government won't let the airline go bankrupt. So I have American Airlines, 5,000 shares. I think it's a very good position. Shopify, I was super freaking successful with this stock. We are so successful with Shopify. It is ridiculous how successful we were. So I'll just go into my history because Mr. Transparency over here wants to be transparent with you. I always say I'm transparent. Sometimes I feel like I'm not transparent because I say I'm so transparent. Don't mind me today. Someone said, like, what's wrong with Henry? One of these videos, guys, I don't drink or smoke. So someone like alluded to that. I'm like, are you serious? I don't drink or smoke. So anyways, just so you know, I just go to the gym, make money, and try to have a good time in life. I take health very, very seriously. It's like the most important thing because if you have an unlimited bank account, which I kind of consider 5 million practically unlimited, because again, 2% per month is 100K, money doesn't matter anymore. So what do? You focus on health, relationships, family. Get to a point where you can focus on your passions, your family, your health, and all that good stuff, because that's more important than money. But if you have a lack of money, then yeah, making money is important because you have a lack of it. I'm not trying to flex here. I'm just telling you how it is, that it's not as sweet as it really is to get rich. It's good, it helps, but it's not going to solve all of life's problems. So let's look at Shopify. I had a lot of success here. I sold a 59 put, I got assigned. Then I sold a 59 covered call, did not get assigned. Then I sold a 60 call, did not get assigned. Then I sold a 59 call, and that's kind of where I'm at. And that expires today, so I'm gonna have to roll that position. I also sold a 63 put option because I'm trying to increase exposure. I'm trying to increase exposure because since I have sold some covered calls that are in the money, I have reduced exposure because I am in the money. So because of that, I want to increase exposure by selling put options. So I have sold some put options so I can increase my exposure. And I'm also going to have to roll this higher. But anyways, long story short, you can see 350, 960, 620, 1550, 280. And I can probably make a roll for a credit or a zero cost roll. So I've done exceptionally well with Shopify. And I think the moral of the story is that it's good to have several different positions here in your portfolio. These are the positions that I have that I'm investing my $5 million with. If you have $50,000, you can still have the same positions, more or less, just less quantity. If you have $5,000, you should use more spreads. But give or take, I really wouldn't change the strategy that much. I think regardless of what amount of money you have, it's a pretty simple formula. You invest in high quality companies where you don't have to feel nervous. You invest at bargain prices. So buy stocks with good price to earnings ratios. By the way, the price to earnings ratio isn't everything because certain stocks that are like technology companies, the price earnings ratio doesn't count as much. So that is my $5 million portfolio. That's how I'm investing it. Hope that you guys like this video. Subscribe, add me on Instagram, send me a message, check out my description, and I will see you guys in the next video.
Try new Game Relax Plays and Centipedes for twice the vibes.
When it comes to paying off debt, you can save time and money. A debt management plan from the 60-year national nonprofit GreenPath Financial Wellness is designed to pay off your debt in 3 to 5 years and may result in lower interest rates and lower monthly payments. How much can a debt management plan save you? Find out by calling GreenPath today.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Today's video will be really interesting. I'm going to be meeting with my friend, my colleague, and a good guy named Noah. So Noah is option trader himself. So I wanted to interview Noah, kind of go over his story a bit. He's been in my Discord for a while, so we're just gonna have like an honest conversation here. I'm gonna ask Noah some questions, and we'll just kind of have a good banter here. So Noah, you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Henry. I've been, I'm excited to do this finally. I know we've talked about it for a while, of kind of connecting and sharing a little bit. I know some people have asked for it and wanted to hear more about my background. So I'm excited to be talking. I'm Noah. I've been in the group with you now, over 2 years, which is pretty crazy, and been working with you closely. And we've known each other for a while too. And again, as far as investing goes, I've been investing. I started pretty young, actually kind of similar to yourself. I started right around 19, getting super into it. And that was mostly like long-term investing. I had tried all sorts of stuff in the past. I even tried day trading, tried buying options, of course. But it kind of ended up through all of that, the last 2.5 years, 2 years, kind of stumbling into like selling options and really learning and getting mentored from you. And of course, from the other coaches in the group as well. And to a point where I'm actually doing this pretty successfully. I've been able to actually kind of become almost 2 years now, like pretty much full time, just, trading, just hanging out in the group and kind of helping you, which has been really cool. A lot of fun, honestly. Investing and trading is kind of a blast once you get it down.
Yeah, it's kind of really cool off in the Discord. And then I kind of had you started like working for me on the team. So you've been kind of like on both sides. You've been a student, you've been investing and making money through trading, but then also working with me and helping in my coaching business. So it's kind of awesome to see you grow. But I am kind of curious overall, like what made you want to get into options? Like I want you to tell the story. Obviously, I know it, but why did you jump into this in the first place?
Yeah, absolutely. So, for me, the motivation, like early on when I even got heard of investing, heard of trading, the stock market and all of that. It was because I was working like at least 60 to 80 hours a week, trying to support, my wife, my daughter. I was pretty young dad. So I was just hustling, doing anything I could, and kind of realized like I can't do that forever. Even if I was making good money, like working all day, every day, working the weekends, missing, holidays and celebrations and not being able to spend time with, my family. I just did not want to do that forever. So like, once I had tried, the kind of buy and hold approach, and it would go good sometimes and not, but it wasn't stable. It wasn't income. Right? It wasn't cash flow. And kind of once I discovered getting into selling options, the reason I wanted to learn is you talk about the ability for consistency through the ups and the downs in the market. And I wanted that cash flow. I wanted to replace my income. I wanted to have more freedom to just spend time with my family and not have all the stress of working constantly and having to be gone. Like sometimes I was even working in graveyards. So that it wasn't sustainable forever.
That's hard.
Yeah.
Graveyard is hard. So I guess I always tell people like trading doesn't take that much time, but it doesn't take me that much time starting off. Like realistically, how long did it take you to like learn everything and get?
This automation investment, scam. Shopify automation investment, scam. Airbnb automation investment, scam. But you know what isn't? Automated trading networks.
If I were to rate everything that I'm doing right now, you guys would be number one, without question.
To be on my wildest dreams, honestly, I think this is like the lottery. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. I feel like we won the lottery, and not a lot of people know about this.
Very good. You guys did what you said you would do. Very straightforward, transparent, and supportive. So I love the results.
Those are just a few clients, and I'm here to help you experience the exact same thing. Just a few years ago, I was another face in the crowd, stuck in the rat race.
Today, I'm completely debt-free. My wife has retired early to raise our 2 amazing kids, and we're not stressed about the sky-high medical care for my dad, who's ill with Parkinson's disease. To top it all off, I'm living in my dream house right in the heart of wine country in Southern California. Now, I know what you're thinking. How can I get in on this? Let's find out. This is for you if you've been burned by those so-called automation services like Amazon, Walmart, Airbnb, or trucking. They make huge promises, but when it's time to deliver, they're coming up way short, leaving you out of pocket and you've paid ridiculous upfront fees. Or maybe you're an active investor, but you're tired of the super slow and inconsistent returns in the stocks and real estate. Now you're just ready for something that offers real, tangible, monthly cash flow. Or perhaps you're just sitting on a nest egg of $10,000 or more, and you're looking for the best way to make that money work overtime for you, so you can take some pressure off and actually enjoy the life you built with the people you love. Even if you're just a little intrigued, hit the link below to get more info on what we're doing here at ATN. Opportunity's knocking, but it won't wait forever. There's limited spots, but unlimited potential. Hit the link below now, and let's make magic happen together.
Consistent, and talk a little bit more about maybe your results.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'll be honest, like the first few months I was a little confused, and like that's why it was so helpful to just have the group and to have you there, because I was just kind of following a lot of, you know, your trades and following what you and Coach Caleb and Coach Lewis were kind of teaching me and guiding me through those first few months. As far as how things have gone, I mean, things in the beginning was, you know, I was taking it slow, and I had a few mistakes as I kind of tried to learn, and I tried to, you know, do this on my own. You know, I kind of wanted to be a little too aggressive, I think, in the beginning, as we had talked about. Like, I even tried kind of doing some of the buying strategies. I was doing some debit spreads and other things, and I ended up having some losses, you know, on a few companies, a few of those speculative EV companies. But I mean, overall, for the most part, the last like 18 months, I've been super consistent. And I'm usually at least like 12 to 15K a month now. So it's been like really a huge blessing for me, for my family, of just like that stability, because there's ups and downs, but it's pretty stable. And as far as like time, it doesn't take me that much time, you know, honestly. I mean, it took me a few months to get
so you kind of said a lot there. You hit me with a lot here because, you know, obviously you're on my team and we talk, but 12 to 15K, that's like, last time we talked, you were at like 7.
Yeah, it's been scaling up, which is awesome. Yeah, it's been.
Is it because of the market or like, what is it?
I think I've just kind of figured it out. You know, I've been able to kind of lock into the right companies, the right strategies, where I'm not having as many losses, number one. Because, you know, I'm still profitable, but I was still making occasional mistakes. And the market helps. But honestly, I just think I've gone into a good rhythm. The account has grown, and it's just it's compounding. Like every month is just like I'm making a little bit more, it seems.
So you were doing like put debit spreads and call debit spreads. That's what was kind of hurting you at first?
Yeah, I tried some of that. And I also tried, honestly, I just even did some straight up buying calls. You know, I just tried some of the buying strategies. Yeah, I did some. Rivian was one that I was trying to play. I thought for some reason, I just really had conviction it was going to bounce back, and I was being a little too aggressive. And yeah.
you know, I don't like that one, right?
Yeah, you warned me about it. But I thought I was going to like make some fast money. It didn't really work out. So I mean, that was not fun. But luckily, that was in the past. You know, I've moved on from those type of trades.
Are you still buying options today to make that 12 to 15, or is it all selling? What's the breakdown?
Yeah, the cool thing is, no, I mean, definitely not buying options anymore. I've been staying away from that for a while. So all selling. Honestly, mostly like you did. I mean, as my account grew, I'm usually just doing covered calls, cashier puts for the most part, doing the wheel, trying to stick with some of that variation. And a lot of times it's honestly on pretty simple companies. You know, Magnificent Seven. I'm doing a lot of the big tech companies, even just some of the indexes, you know, the S&P 500, you know, things like the NASDAQ. And those have worked pretty well. So all selling strategies. I usually do some credit spreads as well, which help. But mostly just the wheel, honestly.
Okay, so SPY and QQQ are like pretty decent sized positions for you?
They're pretty good. Yeah, that's a good chunk. I would say between the two of those, that's probably like, I don't know what I checked recently, probably at least like 35, 40% maybe of the portfolio. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense because the amount of money you're making is like pretty high, and typically SPY and QQ are like, but they usually don't get like the 1% or even 2% a week that I'm going after. So for, like we're doing single stocks in the Discord, right? So which ones are you, what other stocks are you like kind of in right now? I know we have, Apple, we have Amazon, Google. Are you in all those?
I am. I've been doing definitely a good amount with, some Apple, been playing Tesla in different ways, and a lot of those other companies. So yeah, Meta, we recently did some trades that I saw you, kind of share about. And so I've been doing those. And then also occasionally I do some smaller companies. Like I've definitely been playing and making good money on Palantir. Even I think you a few months back called out some things on NEO, and that was really good for me as well. It actually helped me in kind of one of my best months. So definitely some of the companies.
People.
Do you have high interest debt? Learn a good way to consolidate into a lower rate. High interest debt from personal loans, credit cards, and private student loans can be paying up to 25% in interest. Imagine having $50,000 of credit card debt at 25% interest and paying that off over 2 years. You'd pay $14,455 in interest. But what if you used a HELOC or home equity line of credit instead? Assuming you qualify for a 9% interest rate, you'd only pay $4,821 over that same 2-year period. This means significant savings, especially with more debt or a longer payoff period. To see what you qualify for, all you have to do is click the link below. We'll ask you a few questions, and in as little as 3 minutes, you'll find out how much cash you could qualify for with no impact to your credit score. To get started, click the link.
Try new Game Relax Planes and Centipedes for twice the vibes.
People get like NEO wrong because like NEO's like crashing a lot. But I know it's hard to time the market. Like we don't time the market in our community. We don't do that.
Yeah.
But if you catch it at we caught it like 386 and it pumped up to 5. So like we caught that, and I get it. It went down, but we sold time. So NEO, yeah, I can see how that contributed. Are you doing poor man's covered calls at all?
A little bit, yeah. I occasionally will do the poor man's covered calls. Occasionally that does make sense. And I've honestly had some pretty good success with that, especially early on. Like I was using that a lot in the beginning, and it just really helped me grow the account.
Okay. Are you going out so for poor man's covered calls, right? I usually say 1 year, but sometimes we go shorter. We try to make higher returns. Are you sticking to the 1 year? Or are you going shorter with the call, the leap call that we're going long?
Yeah, I typically try to follow what I've learned. It's best to kind of follow what you're doing, a little more conservative, stick with like a year. I have occasionally been a little more risky, do something a little shorter term, closer to like 6 months, things like that. But for the most part, I try to stick it like you've taught, like closer to that year, and just give myself some space. So, which I think works out best.
All right, I'm going to ask you a question about management.
Okay.
Because a lot of students, they're always asking me, how do you manage a position? And it really depends, right? Each strategy, as you know, covered calls, we typically hold until expiration. Selling puts, we also hold until expiration because obviously we want to get a sign. Poor man's covered call is a little bit more interesting, right? That I always say that we want to basically manage it a bit more, but not too much management because we don't want to make it a full-time job. So can you go over just, I guess, a little bit how you manage a poor man's covered call, like the short call? Are you typically waiting until expiration, or are you rolling it early?
Yeah, great question. So as far as management, typically what I like to do is as least amount of work as possible. I try to, I will want to manage it, but I don't want to overmanage it. And I don't want to try to be stressed about it. I've seen that in the beginning, you kind of taught me I was constantly trying to manage and try to make adjustments or roll. And sometimes that just it caused problems. Yeah. I wasn't confident, but now I kind of just, like you told me, just sit back.
I know.
Yeah. And so I just try to follow what you taught, which is kind of believe in the trades, know they're solid. But for the most part, set great trades and then just relax. Like the rest of my week, I don't want to micromanage the trades. I want to relax. Occasionally rolling, absolutely, I do roll quite often, but I don't want to micromanage the trade and like stress myself out because there's really no need. Whether it's poor man's covered call or it's even the spread, set it and I just try to kind of forget about it for a little bit.
Set it and forget it.
Yeah, absolutely. Because trying to manage it and do the day trading just did not work good for me.
Yeah. So, okay, that makes sense. I guess like the big question is people are probably like wondering right now, like, I remember your portfolio was at like 90K, but like, what is it at now? We talked like a couple months ago about trading because we mostly focus on, making sure our community's happy. But what's your account at now?
Yeah, I mean, I've had some good growth and I have added a little bit of capital, but I'm at over 220 now, which has been awesome. So, I mean, to be able to be in a place where, yeah.
You kind of doubled it, but you added some capital.
I added a little bit of capital. I had 30K that I had kind of sitting around, not like actively involved in this. I've just been trying to pile more money into things that are involving options because I just see how well it's working.
Okay, so this is a good question. Now, a lot of people are making money option trading, right? But the thing is, it's a function of adding more money there. It's what you just said. So can you speak to a little bit like, what's your game plan like long term? How often are you adding money to your portfolio and how much, like on a consistent basis?
Yeah, I mean, I'd definitely like to add usually at least monthly. I think it helps in the growth, being able to, kind of continue to have it compound. So whether that's, an extra, 1,000 or 2,000 a month, if I can have that I'm either adding it or just keeping some of the profits in each month from the gains, because some of it I occasionally will pull out and occasionally do things with, or I plan to do more of that in the future. But honestly, I mean, just continuing to have, when I do have money, added in there on top of it. And I just, because ultimately, we've kind of talked about long term, like I want to get to like 500K, I want to get to 7 figures, and really have that huge income coming in. So that's like the longer term goal. But I know to get there, like I've got to continue to grow it. I got to continue to add it and compound it. So I know that's important.
You're out in Oregon.
Yeah, I'm in Oregon. So West Coast. Yeah.
So what is the amount of money you think that you need? You have a daughter, a wife. That's just one daughter.
Yep, right, exactly. Yeah, just the one daughter.
What do you think? Yeah. What do you think that you need to earn now to just kind of be comfortable?
I mean, I think I'm already kind of there, to be honest. Like I can kind of just chill with the income. I mean, as long as it's that 12K, 10K. I mean, things aren't crazy. I mean, they're not crazy cheap, but they're also not crazy expensive. It's not like California.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, as long as I'm kind of doing what I'm doing now, I feel pretty confident that I can kind of do whatever I want. Like we have that freedom to take extra vacations. We're going to be renting a cabin by a lake, soon in the summer, just trying to enjoy it, just relax. And so it's just like have the freedom to kind of do what we want. And so I feel like I'm there, but of course, I always want to keep striving to improve and grow. And so it'd be awesome to eventually get to, 20, 30, 40 a month. But, right now, I mean, I'm pretty content. I don't necessarily need to stress, which is good.
Okay, yeah, that's good. As long as you don't get complacent.
Yeah.
I guess you talk to a lot of the members because you're on the team. And you know even better than I do because you listen to a lot of the problems. What are the typical problems that our community has? Because I do a lot of coaching, but so do you. So what problems do people face? And maybe tell us 2 or 3 common problems or issues, and how do we help the guys on this channel basically get more results and get to their goals?
Yeah, that's a good question. Do you mean just kind of like problems people are having when they join, like the struggles that have been holding them back from being successful?
Yeah, well, you see this every day. I mean, you're working with guys every day. They're joining, and you're on the front lines with my coaching business. So, what do my guys want? I mean, I know what they want, but I want to listen to your perspective and your take and how we can help.
Yeah, I've seen definitely a lot of people that are struggling to be consistent. I mean, they're not really confident on finding the right companies at the right time. Like, they're doing a lot of the right strategies, But before they actually get like the real guidance and mentorship from you, and they're seeing how you're doing it, it's like they don't know how to manage their portfolios. They feel like, well, I'm doing covered calls, I'm following these basic principles, but sometimes just doing a covered call or a cash put at whatever and finding a 20 delta doesn't necessarily guarantee you're successful. Like there's more to it. And sometimes I've realized that they just need to kind of really understand finding the right company, the nuances that go into it, and then they become just super confident. And then the profitability just skyrockets, you know?
What do you think that change is? Are they just learning the Greeks? Are they learning the technical charts? Are they learning the deltas? Is it the strategies? Is it the management? Like what specifically do you think helps these guys that come in and get to the next level?
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything. Definitely, I think just having a community, like for me, was really helpful. And I see for other members is super helpful that you at least can just kind of verify, okay, hey, am I doing this right? And then having that confidence, because a lot of times when we're not confident, people just like tend to make silly mistakes and they like jump out early because they're scared, or they're temporarily down, so they panic. And just having like you to say, hey, no need to worry, that was helpful for me. And I think it's helpful for other people when I talk to people, like, you're fine. Like, don't stress, just stick to the plan, you're good. And then they realize everything worked out, you know? And that's a part of it.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting because obviously I've been doing this for 10 years and I'm active in the community, but I'm not seeking advice because I do this for 10 years. But I forget how important community really is, the support of other members. And I do feel like I'm playing. Playing financial therapist a lot.
Sometimes,
which is fine.
That's how it goes. Yeah,
I think the emotional part
that helps.
The trading is the biggest. The stuff is just the most important, because once you learn the strategies and managing them, you really have to control emotion. And luckily, we do have older guys that have a lot of experience, so they're good at that. And I know we have a lot of engineers in the community, right?
We do. We have a lot of engineers, and I've seen that a lot of engineers tend to do really well, you know, especially once they kind of figure out the right systems. But having people around that are just students that are already making, I mean, some of them are making 20K, 30K, as you've seen, like they're making some serious income, and, you know, clearly they have a little bigger of accounts than I do, but they're crushing it. So, I mean, talking to them, we're also talking with, like, you know, Coach Caleb, Coach Lewis. Those are guys that have done it even longer than I have. And I mean, they just have a wealth of knowledge and they have a lot of confidence and skill. So just talking with other people has always been helpful, for sure. And I think the students, you know, really benefit as well.
Have you got other trade ideas from other students, or do you stick to what I'm trading? Or is it a combination, or is it yourself? Because I know you basically know how to do it yourself. So is it all three, or?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm always in the community just paying attention to what people are saying and what you're trading and, you know, what some of the ideas other members have. I think both are useful for me. I mean, definitely in the beginning, I was following pretty much just everything that you were teaching or you were doing and trying to make sure I was doing it correctly and, you know, asking questions when I was confused. Now, I kind of have my companies I like to stick with, and it's pretty similar to what you're doing. So I feel pretty confident doing a lot of trades on my own now. But I definitely am looking for ideas, you know, from you, and also just talking with, you know, a few of the members I know closely and I know that they're really successful, always trying to check in, get ideas. And you never know, like sometimes ideas come up where it's like, I wouldn't have thought of that. You know, like for me, I wouldn't have thought of the Neo, but you brought that up. And there's been other ones too that come up occasionally that, you know, just people bring even to you sometimes or to other coaches, and like they're actually pretty good trades. So there's definitely power in that.
I know some members, I just have like a couple of questions. I guess one is around how fast people can make money, right? We get this common question. People come in with either very low expectations, we blow them out the water, we make a lot of money, or they come in with overly high expectations and we can't meet those extremely high expectations. So you go over your like struggles a bit, because I think that's really something that people need to listen to, because we you know, we had a team meeting and we were having a lot of success in the community, but we also know that some people don't have the right mindset. So can you speak a little bit to that? Expectations, results. Yeah,
absolutely. I definitely think the expectation, you know, when I'm talking to people that just join, that's one of the biggest things I say is like, you will be successful, but if you get super aggressive and try to jump in that first week and do crazy stuff, like you're going to end up making mistakes. And those are the only times I've seen people really struggle. And I struggled with the same thing in the beginning, because as I kind of mentioned, like I wanted to be a little too aggressive and I was doing too many spreads when I didn't understand how to do that. And I was even trying to do some buying. And I mean, that's how I ended up kind of having one of my worst months, which was, I think it was like 8K I lost in 1 month. That was real early on. But I've seen that happen to people in the beginning where they kind of take a step back in the start and then they realize, okay, I don't need to be aggressive. I can just aim for that, again, safe, kind of like at least 1% to 2% per week in the beginning. Start building some confidence and some momentum, and then like it will scale up. I think that's just the thing some people struggle with is like, I want to get 50% the first month and I'm being way too aggressive, and then you make those mistakes. And I think we all kind of go through that in the beginning. It's just like a learning process.
Okay. I like to ask hard questions. And one of my questions, the next ones is, you know, like I try to do the best in my community. I try to be as authentic and transparent as possible. That's what the channel's about. That's why I'm doing this interview now, show my portfolio. So my question is a hard one, because can everyone win at option trading? Can everybody make money?
Yeah, that's a good question. I definitely think everyone can, especially if they have the right like mindset. Right.
Can or can't?
I think everyone can. I think everyone can be successful with options if they have the right mindset. If they have the right mindset, I think it's very doable to be successful, to be profitable. The biggest thing is, you know, if you're trying to buy options, if you're trying to day trade, if you're trying to do a lot of these things, it's just most people don't win. Not everyone can win at that game. But if you're selling options, I think everyone can win. I think everyone can win with your approach. That's what I've seen.
Converted you into this mindset too, huh? You've seen it for yourself, I guess, but I'm glad that you're speaking my language.
Exactly. And people sometimes, when I even talk about options, are like, oh man, that's so risky. And I'm like, I used to think the same thing, right? It's so risky, and like, oh, you're doing that, but like you could lose it all. And I'm like, not with this approach, like not with selling. It's like with buying, absolutely. Like that's risky, where, you know, the vast majority of people are going to just lose, going to lose their shirt. But when you're selling, like, and you get the rhythm down, it's not stressful, it's not risky. And yeah, you're not going to get rich overnight, but you know, that mentality never works out. Like you want to get consistent. So
refresh the everyday with Mentos Gum. Yes to fresh.
I mean, definitely, I think people, when they understand and they have the right mindset, I mean, people succeed. I've seen it. I know you've seen it too. So,
of course, yeah. It sounds really good, and I'm just playing devil's advocate here, right? I'm in the full proof that it works, but it sounds so sweet. But like, go over some hard times. I want to know your hard times. I want to know, like, because obviously, like, I've had bad months. I mean, not that bad, but I've lost like 2% in a month, which is actually pretty dang good, like for a bad, like losing month. But how many months do you win out of past 18? Which we're saying we're good.
Yeah, that's a good question.
I don't know. That's a hard question. You might not track all 18 months, but
I have a pretty good idea. I've definitely had there's been some early on more volatility. But kind of as I got more consistent, because the first 6 months were difficult. That's when I mentioned, like, kind of had that, you know, 8K loss, and I made some mistakes. But after kind of getting over that, I mean, over the last 18 months, I don't really think I've had any like really painful months, which has been good. Like I have had some months that were maybe kind of like one or two that were kind of more break even. I didn't really have anything crazy happen. But for the most part, like I usually am, I think the vast majority, at least, you know, the last year has been over 10K in profits. There's some that are really good. There's some that are a little bit not as exciting, but pretty much.
All right, what's the most exciting
18 months? Most exciting months? Yeah, that one was pretty crazy. That was a few months back, and with some of the things going on in the market, NVIDIA definitely helped, plus a few other trades that you kind of recommended.
What's the number? I want to know the number.
Oh, I mean, it was 26K, which was pretty cool. So
26. Okay. All right. Not bad. So that's like over 10%.
Yeah, definitely over 10%. So that was pretty cool. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So negative 8K was your worst, 26K was your best.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess simple question, because I guess you said you were buying options, but what was the biggest game changer within those two different results?
From kind of that transition to getting into more of the selling, getting away from
like
the
what happened on the negative 8K and what happened to the 26K?
Too aggressive, too risky. Playing more speculative companies and
same stocks, different same stocks.
Well, at that time, there were some different stocks. Yeah, I was doing some different stocks and some different strategies. And so I was more kind of aggressive with the spreads and with even some buying. And then I just, on the best month, even with the good months, I realized you can still have great months even when you're being conservative. Like that's what's cool. So like I'm sticking to on that best month.
What gave you? Yeah, what stock gave you the most? I guess what stock contributed the most to the monthly gain?
Yeah, probably NVIDIA was one of them that contributed a good amount.
Makes
to that. Yeah, I mean it's a good one. So I mean there was a lot of the big tech companies were all doing well. Yeah,
makes sense. Yeah, makes sense because to have that type of month, if you said anything about NVIDIA, Meta also went up.
Yeah, Meta helped too.
Meta went up a lot.
There were some good trades.
Apple recently had a huge pop. Let me just take a look at my portfolio. Palantir earnings we caught.
Yeah, and Palantir was helping as well.
Was that the same month as was that the same month as Palantir? I mean, I guess both of them same time.
Yeah, same time. I did well on those companies in both months.
Do you see we're up $245,000 on Apple?
Look at that, $245. That's awesome.
$245K on Apple.
Apple's been just consistent.
How bad was our community when Apple went down to? Apple was at 167. Not even 3.
Yeah, it's like that long term.
That's when I really had to play financial therapist. we made it like crazy return after.
Exactly.
I guess when you went into the Discord or even right now, what resource helps you the most? Is it being able to talk to me anytime and ask Henry, or is it the updates I have? Is it the trades? Is it what is it that you like?
Definitely for me, the thing that's always been the most helpful. I always talk to people about it's just like paying attention to what you're doing. Ultimately in the beginning, that's super helpful. And still, I just want to go, again, the Monday calls and the Wednesday calls, like just being able to hang out, whether I join it live or just watch the recordings, just seeing how you're managing your portfolio. Because your portfolio is much larger, and seeing how you're making those moves and making adjustments from some of the smaller trades to larger trades, like that's always been super helpful. And just also knowing that if I just need something, I can just shoot you a message.
Yeah, just for the viewers though, I do carve out a portion of my portfolio that we use for small, medium, and large trades. Because kind of in that medium, large-ish, you have like a medium-ish, large-ish portfolio. Real quick, Noah, so I had an interview with Tanner a bit ago, who's also on my team. Can you talk a little bit about what you do at Invest with Henry and if members can schedule a call with you, or how does that look like? Do you have time in your calendar?
Yeah. Coming up on the next few weeks, I do have some time that I'm going to be talking with some students that are interested in potentially doing this or have some questions on trading. And really I just want to talk with people that are trying to really increase their gains, trying to get more consistent, and just see if we might be able to help. And so I love talking with people that are wanting to trade. So yeah, I'm here.
What type of person do you and I and we, what type of person can we help in the Discord? Like, what type of person does that look like?
Yeah,
I mean, it's a lot. So what does that person look like? Who have you seen that has the most success? What does that profile look like?
That's a good question.
So, I know it's someone that wants steady income. It's not the guys that are looking for that quick win. I'm going to join and I want to turn 1,000 into 10,000 fast. I mean, I make those videos from time to time to show there are risky lottery strategies, but for the most part, we're not going after that. We're going after folks that have a good job, have a stable income, but they want to get into maybe retirement faster, save up quicker, potentially make options their primary gig. Obviously not right away because you need to prove to yourself and you can be consistent. But what does that profile look like? Like, who do you talk to?
Yeah, definitely. That's a good question. Because I think we can make a lot of people successful. I've seen it so many times. I've seen younger people. I've seen, people that are already retired, but they're not making enough, to have the retirement they need. So I've seen this help a lot of different people. But yeah, mindset is huge. Like someone who, number one, has a job, has income, but wants to kind of scale it up, wants to build that retirement a little faster, wants to transition out of that job, just have a little more freedom like you do, like I have now. And as long as you have the mindset, you want that consistent income, you want that safe income, and you're not looking to say, I need to get there tomorrow, like I need to just do something crazy. Then if you have the right mindset to over the next 6 months, year, 2 years, you want to kind of scale this up and get some consistent income. I've seen it so many times that you have that right mindset, you're going to be successful. It's just a matter of time.
So obviously time is a factor. Like I only have so much time. We only have so many spots and things like that. Who is not a fit? Who is not going to be good at option trading? Who should just quit and not even try it? I know it's harsh for me to say who should not do it, but who would option trading really not be, or who would not be a good fit for the community that we have?
Yeah, I feel bad kind of saying it, but some people just have the wrong mentality. They just really, they just can't get the idea that they have to actually build this, that they have to kind of compound their wealth, and it might take a little time. So people that really want to get rich overnight, that want to do a ton of crazy trading, people that think I love day trading, I just want to day trade and do this all day. Whenever we've kind of talked with people, I just feel like those are the people that don't end up succeeding. They want to do too much trading. They kind of don't follow the system. And that's the struggle. So I think people that really are trying to be too aggressive, they're trying to really make some insane gains way too fast, or just trying to buy options. You're not going to succeed. I just feel bad saying it, but almost no one buying options succeeds long term. So you probably you need to either change or just leave.
It's long term, not profitable. Yeah, it's not profitable long term. In the short term, it can be. Talk a little bit about size, because you see guys joining all the time. I mean, you have room in your calendar where guys join. You see them with small portfolios. They get big wins or whatever, or small wins, or they lose money. But what is the ideal portfolio size to start with? Because this is a common one. How much do I need to start with? What's the minimum? What's the maximum? Obviously, there's no maximum, but what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like you always teach, you can definitely start with a few thousand, and that's okay. But I've seen, ideally, students that have some capital, maybe they have, potentially between their different retirement accounts and their other accounts, maybe they have, 6 figures. Maybe they have 100K, 200K they could use. But they're not fully confident yet. And start out small. Start out with 20K or 25K or something. And you can start out and do tons of strategies with that. Start making some actually really good income. And then you just scale that up. And then you just grow it. You add more capital. And over the next year or two, you're hopefully using now some of your retirement accounts, some of your IRAs, and you're just scaling up. So I think ideally, clearly there's no max minimum. Yeah, you can start with $1,000 if you really want to, but if you have the confidence and you have at least 10, 20K to start, that always makes it easier. At least that's what I see.
All right. So 10 to 20K is kind of that magic number.
Yeah, it seems to be a good place to start. Yeah.
Okay, good. What other questions do you think would be valuable for someone listening in right now? They've made it pretty far into the video. So what kind of value what other value can you give to the viewers right now?
That's interesting. I mean, you're the man with all the knowledge, and what else can I give? I don't know. You know, I'm just lucky to have you have kind of taught me over the years and helped me to be somewhat successful. You know, compared to you, but it's not much. But
appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just people need to realize that they can do this, and that I talk with people all the time that have tried. They feel like they know the strategies. They've tried for a year. They've tried for even sometimes multiple years of like they're doing the right strategies, but they're not consistent. And I think that the knowledge is that it can be done.
A question came to me. It's like, because it drives me crazy, I guess, when folks join and they ask me, like, I want to like trade a lot. I'm going to put a lot of time into this and I'm going to make a lot of money. But I always tell them, like, you're going to make a lot of money without having to put in a lot of.
If you've got more than $10,000 in the bank, and you're thinking about investing in e-commerce or trucking automation just to get a measly 5 to 7% annual return, I have something exciting to share with you. There's a smarter, more profitable way to put your money to work. Let's talk about ATN. ATN is automated trading network, and it isn't your typical investment platform. We're a private community with exclusive access to some of the world's leading trading platforms. Our gold members are securing monthly returns of 10 to 14%, and our diamond members are doing even better. Those returns significantly surpass ROI typically seen with stocks or real estate. So how do we make this possible? My team and I partner with people like you who have at least $10,000 saved. We confirm all of your goals and expectations, and if it makes sense on both sides, we then provide access to these exclusive trading platforms. We're your silent partners, helping to turn your savings into significant returns while you live your life. You might wonder why we don't just do this for ourselves, but the truth is we do. Here's a look at my personal accounts. As you can see, I'm earning over $24,000 per month, and it takes less than 1 hour per week to manage. We thrive on helping our partners achieve financial freedom and success, and we only partner with a diverse group of individuals to provide personalized attention. Now, if you're skeptical about this, I understand. Because transparently, when I discovered this opportunity 2 years ago, I felt the exact same way. Before this network, I lost more than $100,000 investing into these so-called automation programs that promised ROI, but in the end couldn't deliver even a fraction of what they said. That's why our community focuses on actual results across the board and not just one individual who has success and no one else sees the same results. But don't just take my word for it. Check out what some of our current clients have to say about our network.
The stock market is getting tanked right now, and that's no secret. I've been watching my stocks get wiped out for quite a few months. If for no other reason, I accepted this offer from ATN because I just wanted to have my money in a new venue.
We love seeing the consistent deposits, and we feel very informed, and we really like having you here to reach out to if we have any questions. So overall, it's been a great experience. The back end dashboard has been great, too, to have access to. So overall, it's been wonderful.
It's overwhelming. Very surprised. Skeptical at first because I lost a lot of money in investment opportunities in the past. This thing works. I'm grateful now.
In terms of the ranking of the different 401k, stock market, ATN, Amazon, what would you say as far as a ranking?
Getting consistent stuff, I would say you'd be number one.
And that's just a handful of our current clients. But here's the catch. Due to the personalized, hands-on nature of the back-end process, we can only partner with a select number of individuals. But for those who we do partner with, we offer a completely hands-off experience where your account runs 100% on autopilot. Now, if this has piqued your interest, I invite you to click the link you see somewhere.
But I always tell them, like, you're going to make a lot of money without having to put in a lot of time, right? Because, like, we're not day trading here. We're not day trading. So this is a function of making proper decisions. Like Jeff Bezos says, like, you need to make like 2 high quality decisions a day and you're good. Same thing with trading. Like, we're not staring at the market. We're just trying to make high quality decisions. So what do you kind of tell folks that have a busy job? Because even yourself, like, you work with me, you trade, you have a wife, you have a daughter. What do you tell people that are like, oh, I'm busy, I don't know if I can like learn or whatever?
Yeah, that's a good point, because the reality is you shouldn't put a ton of time into this. You do have to spend some time learning and building the confidence and understanding the fundamental analysis and the technicals and all that good stuff. But I mean, ultimately, a few hours a week is all you need. Once you actually have, I always tell people, once you have the knowledge and you're feeling confident, like 3, 4, 5 hours a week is plenty, and you're going to be fine. And you can set up some trades start of the week and just try to relax and then check in on them in a week or so and At least that's what I try to do. I don't want to like monitor it all day, every day. So as long as people have a few hours, I mean, you can definitely do this. You can be very successful. And I mean, as you've probably seen, the majority of people that start with us, I mean, are like really busy professionals or engineers are working. You oftentimes like 40, 60.
A lot of software engineers.
Yeah, they're working crazy amount of hours. So as long as you have a little bit of time, you can set up a few trades at the start of the week. You can check in at the end. You don't actually have to have like 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours a day. Like even a few hours a week is fine, and you can be super successful.
Okay, got it. So even truck drivers or whatever professions, we have like sales managers, we have accountants, we have a whole range of.
We have a bunch. Yeah, we do. We have actually a lot of people. That's a good point because we do have a lot of engineers, and we have some doctors. I know in the mentorship they've done well. Some dentists, that have been crushing it. But we also have like a lot of people that actually I think like 3 or 4 people I can think of over the last year that I've talked with and worked with that have been able to like quit their truck driving because like those are crazy hours. Like they're working, driving all over the country, and they don't see their family for weeks. And that's like huge for them to just step away and not need to do that anymore.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you more of a broad question. Like, you talk to quite a bit of people. Like, what's going on with the job market? Like, what are people? Because you talk to people about their personal lives.
Yeah.
What are people making nowadays? Is salaries going up? What do you think is going on with the jobs?
I mean, a lot of people I talk to are stressed. I think that the wages don't seem to have fully kept up with how expensive everything's gotten the last few years. And even people with great jobs. I talk to people that are making great money. A lot of people making 10K, 20K, or more a month. A lot of people even more than that. And they're still kind of like stressed. It's like, even with a good income, people are stressed. So, I think it's just, there's a lot of fear too. I mean, we've talked with a lot of people that have, they got into trading because they got laid off. They got laid off the last year or so, or they're only working part-time now. They were a full-time engineer, had a good salary. Now they're doing part-time work, and they're trying to now they're filling in that missed income, from options. So I think a lot of people are realizing like, you can't just really rely on one source of income.
This AI Trade Finder will handpick you options trades every morning on autopilot. Hi, my name's Charlie Moon, and I'm going to send you my new guide, Trading with AI, for 100% free, no strings attached. You'll discover how you can get access to some of the most advanced AI technology in the trading world that can find you trades in under 60 seconds per day. I've been a professional trader for over 20 years, and I'm featured on major news networks such as Fox Business, CNN, Bloomberg, the Schwab Network, and more. Artificial intelligence has changed trading forever. And here's how you can stay ahead of the game using my brand new AI trading guide. Step number 1, use the AI Trade Finder to...
A lot of people are realizing like, you can't just really rely on one source of income. You can't just rely on the job. Even if it's a good job, like everyone kind of feels like they need a little more, which I totally get because I kind of felt the same way. Like you need a little more. You need more stability, and you want to make sure that you can still pay the bills even if you get laid off, because you can't trust anyone. I mean, people are getting laid off from great companies. It's still not safe.
Even the tech jobs can get laid off anytime, and a lot of them have like restricted stock units, like vested stock that vests over a time period, and they end up losing them. I think if they get fired, they lose it. But I mean, I don't live in the U.S., but I know that just inflation is faster than the salary growth. So
it definitely, I think everyone's feeling it, whether people are, just kind of struggling with, maybe kind of not the best job where they have a great career they've done for decades. Like, I feel like everyone's feeling it pretty much. Yeah.
I'm curious, now that you make your money online, which is right through helping me with new students as well as trading, like, are you planning to move or go somewhere else? Or
that's a great question. It's a great question. I've never thought of it. I've thought about it. I've talked with my wife about it. It's like, the cool thing is we have the freedom. Like we lived in Mexico for a little bit, we kind of tried that out, which was cool. So like, there's ways to like have cheaper living, have tax benefits, which is cool.
Yeah.
But also, it's like, it's easier when you're single. You can just kind of travel around, have fun. I kind of have to find somewhere to be stable. So we've thought about, maybe somewhere more tax friendly. Maybe Texas will probably be in the U.S., maybe Florida. But because Oregon's like 10%, so that's never fun paying that 10%. Yeah, but
No. How old is your daughter?
She's 5.
It's 5, so I guess you got to look for like good schools.
Yeah, and that's why it's good. It's good having the income because we can just always have good private schools and whatnot because there's a lot of it's hard to find a good school, so it's good to have the money. So, but yeah, wherever we go, yeah.
I was about to say that isn't like education in U.S. for like kids like getting like worse because I don't know, like aren't teachers like feeling burnt out and the teachers are underpaid and they're all pissed off and everyone's pissed off and
there's a lot there's a lot of that. Yeah, there's a lot of that. The public schools just generally aren't very good, so it seems like a lot of people, some are okay, but you got to be careful and definitely, even just for like kindergarten, because we're going to a pretty good private school for kindergarten. It's like private schools aren't cheap, but I mean, like the public schools, they have like I hear 29. I talked with one person. There were like 29 kids in a classroom. One was 32 kids. Like that's just too many kids, man.
Yeah, I was gonna call there,
but yeah, I mean, it's just good to have the freedom, like knowing that we can pay for a school or we can go to a different state or even go back to Mexico, whatever we want.
Schooling is really important for kids. Do you feel like your option trading is going to help you have that lifestyle for your daughter and for schooling? And do you feel like it's steady or do you still kind of feel worried? I know you're making 12 to 15, but do you worry about a crash or do you worry about options not working?
Yeah, that's a good question. I feel pretty confident because there's been ups and downs and volatility and kind of what I've learned from you is like there's always a way to make money. There's always a way to have stability. Even if there is a down portion in the market, even if things temporarily crash, I know I'm still going to be fine, especially long term. But yeah, I mean, it's relieved a ton of stress. Just having that extra source of income, like savings, investments, everything else we have, like, I don't really worry too much anymore. And I used to stress all the time. So I think it's definitely been a blessing for me. Yeah.
Cool. I'm going to say one more important thing, and then we'll wrap it up here. But guys, Noah's been on my team for 2 years. So he started as a student, and I like to hire from within my community. So right now I am actually looking to hire folks that can help me creatively produce better videos, whether it's 3D animation, whether it's scripting videos, whether it's editing videos. I'm also looking for folks to become option coaches with me and be part of my team in many different aspects, whether it's helping me write better emails or helping my students get better results through coaching. So there's a lot of positions that invest with Henry. So feel free to email me down below. And if you guys wanted to schedule a time with Noah is an option coach as well as an enrollment director. So he sees this all the time. He has experience, and that's why I hired Noah to work with me. He has several spots on his calendar. You guys are more than welcome to schedule a free call with Noah. There is no pressure. If you don't absolutely feel like it's a fit to join our community, there's no harm. Again, I love doing this from the bottom of my heart. I have enough money. I'm still working, but it's because I genuinely love what I do. So, Noah, did you want to wrap up with your calendar availability or how people can get in touch with you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there should be a way to book and kind of, go on my calendar. And I usually have a few spots a day where I'm just totally open and happy to talk with people that have questions, whether they're students or they're going to be, interested in potentially becoming a student. So, definitely, feel free to reach out. I love chatting with people. And, we can definitely talk about your situation and just see if it might be a good fit, if we can actually help you. And I think there's a good chance that we can.
That we can't?
That we can.
You keep saying can. I heard can't. Okay. Awesome. Well, Noah, thanks for the time. I guess we'll wrap it up here. Thanks so much, guys, for watching. It was a pleasure having you, Noah.
Absolutely. All right. Good talking, Henry.
Hey, aren't you tired of all the hype about AI? AI this, AI that? It's all we hear about these days, isn't it? AI is going to revolutionize everything. AI is the future. AI will change the world. Blah, blah, freaking blah. Well, I'm telling you, I'm sick of it. And I bet you are too. Because here's the thing. All this hype, all these grand promises, all these breathless articles about how AI is going to change everything, they're absolutely useless to you as a business leader. Why? Because nobody, and I mean nobody, is showing you how to actually use this stuff in your everyday business. It's all talk, no action. AI can transform your marketing. Great. How? AI will revolutionize your recruitment. Fantastic. Show me. AI will boost your team's productivity. Wonderful. Make it happen. So here's what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to actually personally show you how to use AI step by step. No hype, no jargon, no technical expertise needed. I'll actually demonstrate for you live and in real time how to use the existing AI tools for tasks that you're dealing with every single day. Generating sales copy that converts, product marketing content that captivates, hiring ads that recruits top talent, and tons more. Instead of explaining how AI works, I'll show you how to put it to work to produce real-world results and give you a competitive advantage in your field. No matter what type of business that you're involved in, whether you run a local retail shop, an online business, or you have a professional services company, this will help you. And heads up here, the interactive webinar platform that we use has a total live attendee capacity limit. So be sure that you put a hold on a seat right now and quickly send a link to your close friends and peers as well. You'll find the link below to reserve your seat.
Try new Game Relax Flings and Centipedes for twice the vibes.